This time I'd like to call the police committee to the podium, as well as acting police chief Mark DiCarlo, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome and thank you for coming tonight to help us celebrate our promotions and our awards ceremony and presentations. Thank you to the Township Committee for giving us this opportunity to take over for a little bit. And thank you to my fellow officers that came to support our other officers. I'd first like to acknowledge Chief John McGinnis and thank him personally for the dedication and commitment he gave to Morris Township. Thank you, sir. At this point, we're going to present awards to our officers. We have the following officers, please. Patrolman Heather Glogolich, Patrolman Nicholas Gonzalez, Patrolman John Burke, Sergeant Chris Tungren, and Detective Matt Flynn, who's standing behind in the honor guard, far left. This is going to be a presentation of Meritorious Service for a homicide-suicide investigation on August 4th, 2017. Just to describe what the award is given for. Meritorious Service is awarded to an officer for a highly unusual accomplishment under adverse conditions with some degree of hazard to life and limb to the nominee, or death or injury to a third party is prevented. On August 4th, 2017, you and other officers responded to assist Morris Plains Police on a report of an injured female. Upon your arrival, it was quickly determined that the female was deceased and the suspect was still in the area. You and other officers actively looked for the suspect while also preserving several crime scenes. The suspect committed suicide moments later as officers were attempting to locate him. Thank you for your outstanding performance of duty and dedicated service to the citizens of the Township of Morris. I just want to come off script for a minute and explain the seriousness of the situation, not in detail as to what happened, but because, fortunately for our community, things like homicides don't happen very well. Which means our officers, when they respond to something like this, might be the first time ever in their career, which means they don't have a lot of real life experience to fall back on when they get there. And things are very stressful and they're happening very fast. But this night, this particular evening, that wasn't the case. These officers responded there like they've done it 10, 15 times. The professionalism and the attention to detail kept them alive and probably saved someone else's life as well. This is a significant award, and I appreciate everyone. Clap one more time. Before I start the next award, I would like to say that there was other officers at the scene that night that unfortunately couldn't be with us for the presentation of award this evening. That was Sergeant Sean O'Hare. He was busy being on vacation and serving, helping a 2-year-old from Rhode Island. I'm sure everybody probably saw that, which was fantastic. Also was Kyle Loud, Nicholas Sabasco. They will be receiving Meritorious Service Award, hopefully maybe in October. This Sergeant Tungren, go back up to the front, please. Now Detective Adam Sutherland and Patrolman Robert Dombrowski. These officers will be receiving the Grand Cordon unit citation for a home invasion, robbery, and aggravated assault which occurred on January 21st, 2017. Just to describe the Grand Cordon, it's a department that the citation awarded to members of a unit or the entire department for a cited action. On January 21st, 2017, you responded to a reported home invasion on Cleveland Avenue. At the location, it was discovered that 2 victims sustained significant injuries during a robbery and theft involving weapons. Your investigative skills led to the arrest of 2 individuals for first-degree crimes. It was due to your teamwork abilities that successfully brought a safe conclusion to the incident. Thank you for your outstanding performance of duty and dedicated service to the citizens of the Township of Morris.
Turn Sergeant Tongren into a politician. You should get someone handsy.
Also receiving that Grand Cordon unit citation that is not here tonight is Detective Sergeant Brian Hollis. May I please have Patrolman Anthony Sandelli. Anthony Sandelli will be receiving the Lifesaving Award this evening for CPR at Foster Fields on April 10th, 2016. Lifesaving is awarded to an officer for an act performed which results in saving a life. On April 10, 2016, you responded to Foster Fields on the report of a male experiencing cardiac arrest. You quickly assessed the victim and determined that CPR was required. You, along with other officers, performed CPR until the victim was revived. Your rapid response and life-saving emergency first aid treatment resulted in a positive outcome for the victim. Thank you for your outstanding performance of duty and dedicated service to the citizens of the Township of Morris. Also receiving the Life-Saving Award was Patrolman David Kozakowski, who also couldn't be present tonight. Thank you, everyone, for your time. Thanks, Chief.
Hey, just a couple of things. You know, the past couple of months, if you were here, we've had some police promotions, police awards over the last few months, and it really shows that this force is really second to none. The chief briefly brought up one of the individuals who couldn't be here, in case you hadn't seen the news, Sergeant Sean O'Hara, who is vacationing down in Clearwater Beach, Florida. And the other day, he heard some commotion around the pool. He ran down there, and there was a 2-year-old who had apparently been pulled from the pool, blue, unresponsive. He immediately jumped into action, performed CPR, and shortly there, time after, the child started crying, brought her back to life. These are true heroes in our town. And the last thing I want to say is, if you drive down Woodland Avenue, as I often do, often take a look at that thin blue line between the double yellow lines. And I want you folks to know, you gentlemen and lady police officers, to know, not only does this committee stand 110% behind everything that you do and support you, so do the citizens of Morris Township. Thank you for everything you do.